Hey guys, and today I am starting a new series. I don't know how well this is going to go over, but I hope you guys enjoy it. Like I said, this is the first episode, so maybe a little rocky. May have some things to work out for future episodes if I do make more. But it seems like an interesting topic, so I'm going to start right now. So anyway, this series is called Racetrack Remains. It's where I look over old racetracks, even if they're still standing somewhere, and kind of tell a history about them, and then go on Google Earth and show you guys what remains there. And eventually this may expand into other sports, but right now I'm just doing racetracks. First couple are going to be street courses, tell you that right now. Or at least the first one is. I don't know, maybe I'll put something in the middle, but most of my ideas are coming from street courses right now. And as you can probably tell from the title of this video, this one is about the Baltimore Grand Prix, which I actually have some footage to put in because I was actually there for the inaugural race in 2011. I don't know why I can't say that. But anyway, I was there, so I actually have some footage to put in the background. And yeah, let's just do a history before I show you guys the remains. So anyway, the inaugural race was held on September 4th, 2011, Labor Day weekend, or actually the day before Labor Day. It held host to IndyCar and the American Le Mans Series for 3 years, 2011, 2012, and 2013. They had a contract with BRD, or Baltimore Racing Development. They actually signed a multi-year contract to hold that race, but unfortunately BRD had some payment issues, not only in IndyCar, but they owed $3 million in debt to local businesses, and 1.2 of it was to the city itself. So they terminated their contract, and the only way for the race to be run again was to find a new developer. Well, luckily in 2012, specifically February 10th, 2012, a 5-year deal with race organizer Downforce Racing was being finalized, and it was presented to the Board of Estimates on February 22nd, and it worked for a couple years. And 2012 and 2013 were both led by Michael Andretti and the Andretti Sports Marketing Team to take over the organization and promotion of the event, along with the Race On LLC. And now, the weird part about this is how, looking at this page, it doesn't really say why it ended, despite the fact that there was a 5-year contract starting in 2012. It really just says that September 13th, 2013, which is about a week or so after the race, it said that the race will not be held in 2014 or 15 due to scheduling conflicts, which is kind of weird to have a scheduling conflict 2 years in advance, at least in 2015's case. I mean, maybe I could understand 2014, but 2015 seems kind of far out there, and obviously they haven't run it since. But in 2011, in the inaugural race, ESPN said that it was the best inaugural street race in North America in the last 30 years. Following the 2011 race, several drivers were saying that the chicane on the back of the street course, which we will get to later, but for now I'm just going to show a picture of a map. So right there, they had a little chicane before going on to train tracks, before they turned right before Camden Yards. And after the 2011 race, drivers are saying that it was kind of unnecessary, so they took that out for 2012. But during the first practice, several drivers, including Simon Pagenaud and Oriol Servia, were both airborne when they got to the train tracks. So they pretty much abandoned that whole thing. They stopped the practice session, and they reinstalled a temporary chicane for that turn. So that didn't really change much. And another thing is the last couple turns. the last couple turns, kind of a wider chicane, it's really a 2-lane street that they're on, but it's narrowed down to one just to make it slower so they wouldn't have as much speed coming onto the front stretch. But they did widen that for 2012 and 2013. Now, another reason why the race could have ended, once again, doesn't say much specifically on why it ended, despite there was a contract. But one of the things that I found is that there was a closing of the commercial center of downtown Baltimore for track preparation, which people didn't really like. Trees were removed from city streets. I do remember that a little bit because I was there a couple years after the racing had stopped, 2014, so only a year after they stopped, and there were trees there, and I did not recall any back in 2011. So that actually spawned a court case for Baltimore. So anyway, that is about it for the history. Now let's actually go on to what remains at the track. Okay, so now we are on Google Earth. I'm going to be going over the course and what remains, and possibly do a street view tour at the end, since this is something that we can actually do on Street View. Now in the future, when we do actual racetracks, there's no telling how much we'll actually be able to use Street View, because they most likely won't have the track itself. Maybe we could get glimpses of the outside, but luckily in this case it's street course. So these images were from 2014. Apparently that's the last time that they were taken, which is coincidentally just a couple months after I was last to Baltimore in summer of 2014. As you can see, the start finish line at that time was still there. Now I know I said I'd wait for the street view, but this is something I do want to point out. It is there in the satellite image, but then, come on Street View, you can do it. Yeah. Does it say when they took the street view? I don't know, we'll see when it loads. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. Maybe we won't be doing a street view tour if it's going to take this long for every single shot. Well, this is exciting. This is not what I meant by street view. I was hoping you could give me, a real street view. I didn't want the ground level. I wanted the legitimate street view. I know you have it. I know it's there. There it is. Okay. So, as you can see, you can still see the outline of it, of where the start finish line was, but that has since been removed. Not entirely sure why. It was something nice to still have there, but unfortunately it is gone. And actually, when I was there in 2014, I do have a picture somewhere. I'll have to try to find it. If I can find it, I'll put it right here. But yeah, if I can't find it, that'll just be an awkward pause. But if I can, yeah, it's my own picture, so I can use it. I think it's interesting that they got rid of it, but there's, as you'll see, there's some other stuff later. Well, I'm kind of wondering, can I get any newer than 2014? This is apparently May 3rd, 2015, but the image is extremely blurry and I have no idea what that is. What is that? I'm so confused, but I guess this is technically the newest you're gonna get, But I mean, I'll go over it because I know the points and where there's stuff, so I will see if it's there. Actually, no, I take that back, because in Street View, all of them are there. So the two other points that I want to show you guys are still there. So there's not really a point in getting a blurry image when you can have an image that's a lot more clear, although it's slightly more dated. But my point is that everything that you're going to see in that blurry 2015 image is the same from this 2014 image. And like I said, these two other points are still there, as far as I know. Just not the start-finish line. So this was turn 1. This is... okay. Oh, that actually worked out. I didn't want to do that yet, but it works out. So we're doing the street view. So you can see it from the air, it kind of looks like it's kind of sticking up, but it's actually flat. And for some reason, I feel like when I was there, because we went over here somewhere, I feel like last time I was there I might have seen this. I just don't remember it, because this is around the area where I was. But I just think that's cool. They still have this in where turn 1 was. So anyway, let's exit street view, and yep, there it is from the air. So I never really showed you guys the way down. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory because I said it was turn 1, but just in case. So here's start finish line. Then we're gonna move down a couple blocks until we pass it, until we get to here, turn 1. And I do kind of have this marked out in my head. So. And then they took this slight turn, and then they went down here, and then right here, just want to make sure, yep, that's the right building. So right here is where they had a hairpin turn, which is turn 3 actually. That little slight turn to the left you guys saw earlier was turn number 2. Not really any remains there, just that's where it was. And it'll be easier for me if I turn around, because what they did the hairpin turn, then they're basically going back the other way from there. Now not quite sure, but I think this might have been turn 4. Let me go down a little bit, see if it really is what I think it is. Okay, it is. Okay, so now that we have that, let's go back. Okay, so hairpin turn, just to recap, was right here, and then they went down this way over to this street. This was turn 4, and it kept going down here for a little bit. And something weird they did, they actually went from this right side of the street to the left side. So they were driving that way. And here is really our final piece of the track that's still remaining. Let's do street view on this one. And there's just a little piece left. There's still a little bit of an outline of stuff that's faded away. As you can see, it's right near Camden Yards. But this is also where they got rid of the chicane, but then made a temporary one as well. So like I said, this is the last piece remaining, but I'm still going to show you guys the rest of the track anyways. So anyway, from there, they kind of followed the curb there. They kind of went across the street over these train tracks. This is where in 2012 a couple cars got airborne, so they had to make that temporary chicane. Then they turned left over here and they followed this street. Then they took a right over here. I apologize, I lost track of what turn we're on. This might be turn 9. Then they basically went around the baseball stadium, which is right over here, and they followed this. Then they made a right. They followed this street, and now this is where they did have, I guess it's 3 lanes, but this street right here is where they had the first year they had the one lane only, and then they widened it so they had the entire street. This is the wider chicane kind of. And then they made a sharp right back onto the front stretch where we will eventually get to it in the line right there. Okay, so that is it for the main part of it. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to see if I can do Street View. If not, this will basically be the end of the video. But if not, you guys will just see a Street View tour of it without me talking, and probably just some non-copyright music in the background. But yeah, all the citations and links for where I got my information from, especially for the history part of it, will be in the description below. Will be the first thing, because I do want to give credit to where I got it from, because really I'm not creative enough to phrase things in my own way, so a lot of it will sound like what it is there. So I want to give credit, and other than that, I will see you guys later. Hopefully there will be other episodes, and leave some suggestions. Hey guys, and I really hate to be doing this after the first episode of a new series, but I do have an update of something that I got wrong with my information in the first episode of Racetrack Remains about the Baltimore Grand Prix. Now, when I read the Wikipedia page, and this isn't Wikipedia's fault by the way, all of their stuff is accurate, it's just the way I read it. I saw train tracks and chicane before, and I thought they meant this part of the track, so I went on to say how they removed it after 2011 because drivers didn't think it was necessary, and then 2012 first practice, some drivers got airborne, and then they put up another temporary one for the rest of that year and 2013. But then I discovered that in that map, I don't know how I didn't even see this, but in that map there's another chicane right on the front stretch, and if you watch actual video that's even in the video that I used, you can see that there is a clearly temporary chicane there that kind of looks really weird and awkward to be there, but there are another set of train tracks there which I actually didn't even see from Google Earth. Maybe they were there, maybe they weren't. I wasn't actually looking for them there, but all I knew was that the most obvious ones were the ones by Turn 8 or Camden Yards. So I assumed that's what they meant, but there was another set of train tracks that was on the front stretch that I did not see, and that's what they were talking about with that. So I'll most likely have a link to this video when I start talking about that in the previous video. And for those of you who care, I apologize for getting that wrong. I know it's only the first episode, not a great start, but that is, as far as I know right now, the only thing that I've gotten wrong. Maybe I've gotten some more wrong, you guys let me know. But other than that, thanks for watching. I will see you guys later.